Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. In April this year, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta announced vacancy for 4 commissioners at IEBC. And then last week, around Thursday, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta nominated 4 names as IEBC commissioners. And then he forwarded them to Parliament. And then the Speaker has also forwarded the names to the JLAC committee, which will vet them and approve them. From your screen there, you can see the names of these nominees. We have Francis Wanderi, Justus Abonyo, Juliana Cherera, and Irene Cherop. These are the 4 names President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has nominated to sit at IEBC as commissioners. They are just replacing the 4 commissioners who resigned some times back. First, Roslyn Akombe went, and then 3 other commissioners, Paul Kurgat, Maina, Connie Maina, and also there was also one by the name of Margaret Mwachanya. These ones resigned. So there was a vacancy for 4 commissioners. And the president nominated the 4 commissioners last week. And as of now, ladies and gentlemen, Tangatanga group, the Wheelbarrow group, they are already crying foul that these 4 nominees are going to be used to rig next year's presidential election. Yes, they are already crying foul that these nominees the president has nominated are most likely going to be used next year to rig presidential election. Yesterday, Kimani Ichung'wah was at an interview at Inoro TV. And this is what Kimani Ichung'wah said yesterday at a show called Kiririmbi. I can confidently tell you that sisi tuko na evidence ya kila kitu. And if you doubt me Kamau, I can now alert you, some people have already proceeded to the Supreme Court challenging the selection of the new commissioners. As yourself, ask yourself this question. Will you accept the football match outcome where all the officials, including the referees, were appointed by your opponents? Kimani Ichung'wah said in Kikuyu, though it has been translated. That was yesterday, Kimani Ichung'wah complaining about these 4 names or about these 4 nominees that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has just nominated. So in this video today, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to look into details, or rather I want us to look deeper to see whether Tangatanga group are justified to complain that these nominees, these 4 nominees, are going to be used to rig next year's presidential election, or whether Tangatanga UDA are just playing politics. Because sometimes back, ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto himself came out in broad daylight and said that he had no problem, even if Oburu Odinga, Raila's elder brother, he had no problem if it's Oburu Odinga who will sit as the IEBC chairman. He had no problem with that. That was some times back. And then this group calling themselves Tangatanga, William Ruto and his supporters, they have been telling us that it's the people who elect the president and not IEBC. They have been very consistent on that. So in this video today, I want us to dig deeper and see whether they are justified or whether they are just playing politics. So in case you've just bumped on this YouTube channel for the very first time, kindly subscribe and also give this video a like. Give it a like, please. Give it a like. Thank you. God bless you. Straight away to our analysis and discussion. Are the Tangatanga group justified, or are they just playing politics? In order to answer that question very accurately, whether they are justified or not, I want us to look at the composition of the selection panel that came up with these 4 names that Uhuru Kenyatta nominated. The interviewing panel, I want us to look at the composition of that interviewing panel. Yes. For those who might not know, ladies and gentlemen, the interviewing panel that came up with those 4 names was composed of 7 people. 7 people. And 3 bodies were mandated to come up with the 7 people, or rather the 7 individuals that were to sit in that interviewing panel. We had Public Service Commission, we had Law Society of Kenya, and we had Interreligious Council. Those are the 3 bodies that were mandated to come up with the 7 people or personalities who were to interview and come up with the nominees to fill the 4 vacant positions. PSC came up with 4 names. Public Service Commission, 4 names. Law Society, 1 name. Or rather, Law Society of Kenya, 1 name. And then Interreligious Council, 2 names. So from that alone, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that the side of the government already has 4 names. While this other side, the opposition, we can assume that the Law Society of Kenya and Interreligious Council, we can assume that's the opposition. They have 3 names. So already government is ahead with 1 because they have 4. This other side has 3. And then let's now, the interesting part of it, ladies and gentlemen, is the nominee by the Law Society of Kenya. As things stand today in the Law Society of Kenya, there is a division. There is the president of the Law Society of Kenya, Nelson Harvey, who is considered to be a government critic on one side, and then we have Law Society of Kenya CEO, Ms. Wambua, on the other side. Ms. Wambua is perceived to be a little bit friendly to the government side. So the Law Society of Kenya had 2 names. 1 name fronted by Nelson Harvey, a lawyer by the name of Maurice Kimuli. And then Ms. Wambua, the CEO of the Law Society of Kenya, also presented 1 name, Mrs. Kimengech. Yes. And then they forwarded these names to the Public Service Commission, because Public Service Commission was the one receiving names from these bodies and then forwarding them to the president. So when Law Society of Kenya forwarded these 2 names of lawyer Maurice Kimuli and also Ms. Kimengech, Public Service Commission accepted the name that was forwarded by Ms. Wambua and rejected the name that was forwarded by lawyer Nelson Harvey, the president of the Law Society of Kenya. So technically, it simply means that Public Service Commission went for a nominee that they felt was more friendly to them and rejected the one that they felt was not friendly to them. So we can just assume here that now the government side now has 5 people in the vetting panel, or rather in the interviewing panel. So the other side is left by only 2. So from that alone, ladies and gentlemen, we can now see that in the panel that came up, or rather came out with these 4 nominees, government-friendly personalities in that panel were 5, while the opposition were 2. I think that answers our question as to whether this Tangatanga group are justified to complain or not. Because from the look of things, it's very, very clear that these 4 nominees are most likely people who are friendly to the government side, because they were nominated by friendly personalities who most likely are also friendly to the government. So in this case, ladies and gentlemen, Tangatanga are justified to complain. And then the second question, are they just playing politics, or are they being served with the same dish they have served others before? Are they just being served with the same dish they have been using to serve others? I think the answer to that is also a yes. They are just being served by the same dish they have been using to serve others. In 2013 election and also in 2017 election, the opposition at that time were really complaining about IEBC. And opposition at that time was saying that this IEBC was being used by the government to rig election. Kimani Ichung'wah, William Ruto and that team, they were really castigating the opposition. And they were really chiding the opposition and telling them that ni watu, they don't agree, hawakubali matokeo. Yes, they have been saying that Raila and his team are people who don't accept defeat. And today, Tangatanga have started complaining. And they are now saying they are heading to the Supreme Court. So they are just being served with the same dish they have been using to serve others. Yeah, it's said that what goes around comes around. Dunia ni duara. Otherwise, folks, ladies and gentlemen, let me stop there for today. Just as I did mention when we were starting, if you've bumped on this YouTube channel for the very, very first time, kindly subscribe and also give this video a like. Give it a like, please. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Tamu sana. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana.